Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our fourth part of our NET+ webinar series. Today, we'll be providing an overview of our NET+ programs for Docusign, ServiceNow, and Splunk. I'm Tiffany Frank. I'm a program manager here in the NET+ program, and today I will be your moderator. Before we get started, I want to highlight a few logistical items. So participants' microphones and video will be turned off, and if you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature. I'll also be moderating the questions throughout the webinar, and we will try to respond through text in the Q&A. And we are recording the session, and it will be available on our YouTube channel and as part of our blog post. So now I want to go ahead and hand it over to three of my fellow program managers, Jenna, Quyen, and Nidhi. And Jenna, you are up first.
Yeah, hi everyone. I just want to echo what Tiffany said. Thanks you all for being here today, joining us for the fourth part of our series, right in the middle. I'm joined here today with Nidhi and Quyen, all program managers that collaborate on our NET+ Docusign, NET+ ServiceNow, and NET+ Splunk program. So getting into the agenda, just a high level, I'm going to be talking about who, what, why, and how. So who is the company? Who is the service provider? What is the NET+ program? Why is it so great? What are the benefits? And how can I get involved? So moving on, we have Docusign. So Docusign is a platform that allows users to create, send, sign, and track documents online. It empowers 1.6 million organizations globally to automate agreements, track critical data, and drive growth through document workflows. Moving on to Docusign in higher education, we really see Docusign being used for admissions, student services, operations, campus deployments, research, and advancements. And then another thing I really want to highlight on this slide is the features integration for the education part of Docusign. So we have pre-built integrations with other NET+ programs. Today we're highlighting the ServiceNow NET+ program, but we also have integrations with Google and Sue. So reach out to us so we can connect Docusign to platforms that you're already using. Heading into the next slide, just an overview about the program. We signed the NET+ Docusign offering back in 2015. They're one of the oldest services in our books. They've been such a great partnership, and that document signed originally from 2015 had a lot of collaboration between Internet2, the advisory board, and Docusign. We kept wanting to have the partnership, so we had another mutual agreement signed in 2019 with new set of terms and conditions. Moving on. So the NET+ Docusign program has 61 subscribers so far, and it's eligible to all Internet2 higher education members. If you joined us for a webinar before, you probably know that each service goes through something we call a service evaluation. This is where they are measured against 5 components: business, technical integration, deployment, functional assessment, and security and compliance. I really want to shout out the schools and thank the schools on the screen today for really helping us in late 2014 to have an agreement signed by 2015. Next, we have our executive advisory board, and this is pretty special. Not every single NET+ service has an executive advisory board, but they really helped us in 2019 with some negotiations and helped Docusign with their product roadmap in terms of higher education. So this was more of an advisory board that was on a mission. They're not an advisory board that is very active, but I just wanted to shout them out because they were very important in our 2019 agreement. And then moving on to what we have that's an ongoing and active board is our service advisory board. So our service advisory board meets once a month, which is really great. And it's more of a self-help Q&A session. So not only do the schools get to collaborate with each other and leverage how other universities are leveraging Docusign, but we also have a wonderful NET+ Docusign program manager on the Docusign side that helps collaborate, facilitate, and help schools get where they need to go in terms of troubleshooting and getting in touch with their AE. So we think this board is really great. They're very mature users of Docusign, and they're always willing to help. moving on to our benefits of the program, two really key ones that I'd like to highlight is our unlimited envelopes, which is a really unique part of the program. We see a lot of schools not only use Docusign for their staff and faculty, but for their students also. We actually had an open office hours call on Tuesday where one of these schools have the ability to let students have access to Docusign where they can, sign rent papers with their, send out a document that's needed. So they're really using Docusign full force. Another one that I want to highlight is Carahsoft as our sole reseller. We introduced Carahsoft as a fulfillment partner, and we were able to more efficiently facilitate quoting, contracting, and billing. And then moving on to our resources, kind of wrapping up here, is we have a ton of resources on the Docusign side, whether that's forums or blogs. We also have a ton of NET+ case studies. If you want to see how other universities are leveraging Docusign, definitely feel free to click this once these links are out to you guys on the blog. In terms of NET+ resources, we have a wiki page, which holds an archive of all of our past town halls, webinars, and newsletters that go out. This is really cool because it kind of gives you an update of what's going on currently and what you need to know in terms of the NET+ Docusign program. We also have a Docusign simple list for our subscribers and a Docusign Slack channel. So any questions as a subscriber that you would need to know or want to get an answer to, we have channels that will help you out. And then we also have our webpage. Moving over to the how, the community engagement, how can I get involved? Subscribers now have the opportunity to come to our second open office hours, February 11th. This one is more tailored to web forms and API, whereas our one last week was tailored to features and functionalities and kind of getting to know the community. And then hitting on the town halls, quarterly newsletters, and webinars that we hold. And if you're really interested in the NET+ Docusign program, please reach out to us at netplus@internet2.edu. And we can let you know who your account executive is. We can escalate anything to your account executive. Or if you're troubleshooting Docusign, you need some help, you can go to docusign.com and open a support ticket. But with that, let me check the Q&A and see if we have anything.
Looks like we've got two questions in there, Jenna.
Yeah, so for this first question, are there any Docusign use cases in research? I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat for you. And then can we use Docusign in our medical school? So it's really open to all higher ed institutions. And then I see that Kathy from Cal State Long Beach has raised her hand. Let me give you some permission to speak, Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. That was my mistake.
That's totally okay.
Pardon me. Sorry.
Thanks for shaking this up. We really appreciate you. We'll get those questions answered for you guys in the chat, and then we'll reiterate those questions at the end of the session when Tiffany talks about them out loud. So let me get those links for both of you guys. All right, handing it off to Nidhi, my colleague for NET+ Splunk.
Thank you, Jenna. Good afternoon, everyone. I will be talking about our NET+ Splunk program now. So let's start with what is Splunk. Splunk has two offerings, on-prem and cloud. It provides an easy, fast, and secure way to search, analyze, and visualize the huge amounts of machine data from IT systems. This includes everything from logs and network traffic to sensors and web servers. So how are higher education institutions using Splunk? To detect security risks and keep networks safe, to enhance the experience for students and faculty, to monitor data from various sources, giving a complete picture of operations, and to collect and audit data to meet regulatory requirements. Talking about the Splunk Cloud Platform, it allows organizations to manage large volumes of data effortlessly while enjoying the flexibility and reliability of the cloud. This also makes it a great solution for schools looking to boost their data management. Next slide, please. So talking about the NET+ Splunk service evaluation, we had two separate service evaluations for Splunk on-prem and Splunk Cloud, which was successfully completed by the contribution of universities listed here. The services were evaluated on the following aspects. First, business. We successfully established customer agreements and business model tailored to higher ed, ensuring they meet our community needs. Also defined a clear pricing structure that highlights the value Splunk brings to institutions. Second, functional assessment. Splunk's features and functionality were reviewed to ensure that they suit the community's requirements. Third, deployment. Comprehensive documentation and use cases that show how Splunk can be utilized effectively in educational settings are available. Fourth, security and compliance. Splunk is HECWET and SOC 2 compliant. And specific to Splunk Cloud, it is compliant with key regulations including FERPA, GDPR, HIPAA, and the Rehabilitation Act 508. Next slide. Now let's take a look at the Splunk Service Advisory Board. The board currently consists of 5 participating schools: Baylor University, Cornell University, Caltech, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and University of Idaho being our newest board member. They meet quarterly to discuss various topics related to Splunk usage in higher education and how the NET+Splunk program can be leveraged to engage with the community. Recent discussions have included topics like using federated login for Splunk Cloud to enhance access across campuses and implementing the universal Duo universal prompt in Splunk Cloud. We encourage feedback. If you have suggestions on what the program should focus on or the Service Advisory Board should consider discussing, please let us know. You can also write to splunkadvisory@internet2.edu if you have any suggestions or questions. We are also looking to expand our Service Advisory Board and welcome any new schools interested in participating. Next, now the program overview. The NET+Splunk program helps higher education institutions manage and analyze machine-generated data and supports SecOps, IT Ops, and engineering teams in gaining valuable insights from this data. Also, Splunk is expanding out of IT Ops and looking at DevOps and AI Ops as well. With all these capabilities, Splunk empowers organizations with visibility across their entire digital footprint, surfacing key risks and detecting incidents so that teams are prepared to respond before they become major issues. To summarize, Splunk is a flexible platform that provides enterprise-scale data management. The original agreement was signed in 2014, and we currently have 30 subscribers. Eligibility includes Internet to higher education members, non-profit higher education institutions whose main campuses are located in the United States, K-12 educational institutions, libraries, and museums. Carahsoft is the distributor for this program. They manage not only quoting, billing, and contracting, but also the 13 resellers under the program. Moving on, listed here are the solutions offered as part of the agreement for both on-prem and cloud. Tiffany, it's the last slide. Sorry. Yeah. Discounts. Moving on to the discounts, the agreement is pre-negotiated to align with higher ed needs and requirements. Subscribers enjoy a negotiated minimum discount of 20 to 30% of the list price. Lastly, the fee structure. For on-prem, fee are based on the amount of data indexed per day with no additional charges for users, CPUs, or searches. And for cloud, fee includes cloud ingest bundles based on the amount of data indexed per day, and there are also options for cloud SVC bundles. Next slide. Lastly, in this slide, I want to share some valuable resources available through the NET+Splunk program that can enhance your experience and engagement with the community. First, some key links and resources. Splunk for Higher Education outlines how Splunk can benefit institutions like yours. I also encourage you to check out our case studies, particularly the one on Baylor University's migration to the NET+Splunk cloud. Next, the NET+ resources. We have a dedicated NET+Splunk wiki page, which has documentation and guidance to help you make the most of the platform. We have a NET+Splunk web page, which provides an overview of the program, its benefits, making it easy to find relevant information. You can also view NET+Splunk pricing details from Carahsoft. And for any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us at netplus@internet2.edu. Last but not the least, on the community engagement front, which is a big part of the NET+ program, we host quarterly service advisory calls where advisory board members connect with peers to share insights, challenges, and how the program can be improved. I also want to highlight Splunk Community Slack channel. It's a great way to engage with others in the higher education community, ask questions, and share best practices. For any inquiries, you can reach out to us at netplus@internet2.edu. If you have any questions about sales or pricing, feel free to contact the Kerasoft Splunk sales team at splunkinternet2 @kerasoft.com. So those were a bunch of resources available for you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you take advantage of these valuable resources to enhance your use of NET+ Splunk.
Nidhi, it looks like we do have one question in the Q&A. Are the NET+ Splunk community calls still happening?
So we are working with the Service Advisory Board and our Splunk team to resume those community calls, and we'll keep you posted once they resume. Okay. If we don't have any more questions, I will hand over to Quyen now.
Thanks, Nidhi. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My service that I'm going to talk to the community about today is ServiceNow. Can we go to the next slide, Tiffany? So ServiceNow is a cloud-based platform that offers digital workflow solutions tailored for various business functions, including IT service management, human resources, customer service, and security operations. For research and education organizations, ServiceNow helps streamline administrative processes, manage IT resources efficiently, and enhance collaboration among departments. Some of the key benefits for higher ed and research includes improving incident resolution, automated workflows for service requests, and the ability to track and manage research projects effectively. The platform also supports a self-service portal, allowing students, faculty, and staff to access resources easily. So overall, ServiceNow boosts productivity, improves service delivery, and fosters a better experience for both staff and students in academic settings. So next slide, Tiffany. So I wanted to start at the beginning of the NET+ ServiceNow program. And we kicked off the ServiceNow evaluation in 2015 with the 12 universities listed, representing both public and private institutions. The group helped NET+ and ServiceNow by validating the platform's business models, capabilities, and security measures for the research and education community. Some of the key outcomes that came out of that evaluation, including establishing unique terms and conditions, such as no liability for the university on student usage, and collaborating with ServiceNow to address accessibility issues, ensuring they're a part of the future roadmap. So some of the issues that were identified during this evaluation was actually already been resolved in the platform, and others have been incorporated into the roadmap. Next slide. With regards to the NET+ ServiceNow program, it's basic. I just wanted to highlight some of the key things. We have about 200 subscribers right now in the program, and so ServiceNow is available to our Internet 2 higher education members, and then the others audience is listed in the chart. We also have tailored discounting for the program, and the discount offers about 70 to 75% off of MSRP or list pricing, depending on the products and the volume of licensing. The program also offers additional support terms that are no longer available outside of the NET+ program, such as 24/7 support at no additional cost. Next slide, please. And then, much like my colleague, I wanted to highlight the Service Advisory Board for the program. So our Service Advisory Board includes representatives from 12 universities, a mix of both private and public, and some of these universities also participated in the service evaluation. We also have representatives from ServiceNow and myself on the board. Our current chair is Terry Fernandez from American University. We recently also onboarded 2 new members from Columbia University and the University of Texas at Austin. So the group, aside from ongoing work with ServiceNow to ensure the program continues to be effective for our community, The group also hosts the community webinars and the annual higher ed meetup at ServiceNow Knowledge Conference. Most recently, this group has been collaborating with ServiceNow to release an accessibility addendum for the NET+ agreement. More information about the addendum will be available soon. In the meantime, on this page, I've included links to our town hall schedule. We have one scheduled for next Wednesday to discuss ServiceNow's AI capabilities and the important considerations that institutions should look into before they adopt these features. Next slide. And then this is the last slide, and this has the community resources for the program. So on the first box, we have contact information for both the NET+ team and our contact at ServiceNow. Wanda Bergamy is the Strategic Outcomes Manager for Education. She loves higher ed. So if you guys have any questions and you want direct contact with ServiceNow, she's who you should talk to. And then I also listed out some of the NET+ program resources, including our website, our wiki, our town hall. The community also has a very engaged discussion list. So feel free to email NET+ if you want to be added to that list. And then I just wanted, again, to promote our town hall next Wednesday, and the URL to register for that event is there. And that's it for me for ServiceNow. I'll turn it back to Tiffany.
Thank you. So Quyen and Nidhi, I think we've got a question for both of you, one or both of you in the Q&A. The question is, can I get my ServiceNow logs into Splunk?
Do you want me to take that?
Yes, Quyen. Well, or I can, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
If you want, you can do it too. But I think there are configurations that you can set up to integrate between your ServiceNow instance and Splunk. But I think it would be best for you I'm assuming the person who's asking is a ServiceNow admin or a Splunk admin, but that's probably who you should reach out to at your campus, is to work between the two admins and configuring it out. But there are integrations available for those two services.
Thank you. So Quyen, I wanted to ask a question because I was just based off of your last slide. A lot of people, are curious about how they can get more involved, with the community around some of these services. How can people do that?
Oh, thanks for asking. So I think we have, if you've joined any of our other webinars in the past, we do have a link that Jenna can share with everybody attending on the process of the NET+ service evaluation process. And for a lot of our evaluations are usually started by the community request. So if there is a service or a provider out there that you would really love to engage, that you think it's the best fit for Internet2 to help the community engage with, if there's a challenge, etc., please email net+@internet2.edu. And we have a business development manager, Tara Jenna, who is that we can direct you to for requests for suggestions for new NET+ providers, and if you have more questions about that service evaluation process. And one last thing, you've heard that every NET+ program went through a service evaluation process. So just to highlight each of those evaluations, there's usually a university who sponsors that provider before we kicked off the evaluation. So for ServiceNow, it was the University of Washington who sponsored ServiceNow in 2015 for that evaluation.
Does
that answer?
Yes, that's great. I don't see any more unanswered questions in the Q&A. While we wait to see if anybody else raises their hand, I'm going to go ahead and read out some of the questions that have been answered already. Jenna just answered a question about Docusign, and the question was, okay, this was the earlier question about the specific use cases for Docusign, and Jenna dropped in a link to some use cases, specifically one about how Notre Dame uses Docusign. So the link is there in the Q&A. The other question was, can we use Docusign in our med school? And Jenna answered that. Yes, but only for higher education, teaching and learning use cases. Patient use cases require a different type of license outside of NET+, and there's an email address to reach out with questions regarding that. And then we had another question, can a BAA be signed for NET+ Docusign? And Jenna answered that, yes, Docusign will sign a BAA upon request. Another question about Splunk, are the NET+ Splunk community calls still happening? I think Nidhi answered that question live. And then Terry had a question, if interested in joining the Splunk Service Advisory Board. He was confirming the email address, and Nidhi answered that question. We already answered this, can I get my ServiceNow logs into Splunk? That was answered live. And the last question was, how about integrations between Docusign and ServiceNow? And Jenna answered that. She says we have an integration. Please reach out to your account executive. If you need to know your account executive, feel free to reach out to us at the NET+ email address. Don't see any other open questions. Does anybody want to ask a question live? If you'd like to do that, just raise your hand. If it's easier than typing, you're welcome to come on stage. Okay, well, I think that's all the questions then that we have today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for the webinar, and thank you to my colleagues, all of our speakers today, and I hope everybody has a great afternoon.
And then moving forward, we have webinars next Thursday and the rest of the Thursdays until the end of the year, December 5th. So next time we'll be talking about NET+ Canvas, Panopto, and Lab Archives, and we'll be ending the series with the NET+ procurement session. So join Sean and our colleague Sue on kind of what that looks like, and that's going to be a really awesome session. So looking forward to seeing everyone later on in the series, and thanks again for attending.